This is a comparison of features of Windows 7 and Windows 8. Windows 7 and Windows 8 are OS products made by the Microsoft Corporation. Microsoft has dominated the business productivity market for a better part of its existence with the release of the early desktop operating system, Windows 3.0. Even DOS was considered an early favorite platform for many companies that needed an operating system or environment for its users. Windows versions have primarily been menu-driven, and as new capabilities are released, new menu items are introduced to provide interactivity with those new elements. Windows 8 represents a deviation from this design mindset for Microsoft. With the push for cloud and cloud-based services and the ever-growing mobile technology platform market, Microsoft has found themselves behind the curve to compete with more flexible products like Apple iOS, which is a thin, mobile version of the popular Mac OS software that was designed for Apple's mobile products such as iPad, iPod, and the iPhone, as well as Google and Linux products that are ported specifically for similar mobile platforms. The cloud. In the Windows 7 or pre-Windows 8 world, many of the applications would be bought in a brick-and-mortar store location, or perhaps ordered online and physically delivered to you via snail mail. Some may be available for download. However, all have been required to have some level of install to a local disk to be executed and then interacted with locally only. Some applications promoted online interaction, but usually they were direct point-to-point or server-based with server-client relationships such as email, instant messaging, or even web services. To understand Windows 8, we must also understand what cloud is and what cloud services are. We must understand that with a market emphasis on mobility and portability, software manufacturers must create products that are lightweight and able to be accessible and usable on varying platforms and various locations for their end users. Cloud represents the Internet, but not just the Internet alone. Cloud would be inclusive of all the potential services that could be provided through the Internet. So it includes the connectivity as well as the online storage, file management, online productivity tools, collaboration, online multimedia, social interaction. Pretty much everything and anything that you could do online is in some way provided or serviced by the nebulous cloud. Windows 8 is designed to take full advantage of this online services entity. In the cloud, you may recognize some providers shown here. The main screen. Windows 8 uses a default screen called Metro. It's the primary interface and the home location for the user. Interactive tiles that display information about the applications and what they represent. Visually, there are very distinct differences in how Windows interface has evolved. Notice what's missing. It appears we have lost the sys tray, the quick launch bar, and even the start button. Notice that the items and the information that we might typically find in the start menu now appear as objects on the main screen in Windows 8. The idea being a single interface to access all of your stuff, such as mail, contacts, calendar, messaging, as well as other items and applications that might be installed. Many of these objects, too, are fed by the Internet with a fully integrated and dynamic summary data feed in a similar way that previous versions of Windows may have used RSS or rich site summary feeds. This was an early attempt to provide a quick look capability into preferred content from the Internet, usually configured by the user. System management. Windows 7 system management features are located in a control panel that is accessed via the Start menu. Or you can also access them by right-clicking on My Computer and then selecting Manage. Seems like a lot of clicks to get somewhere. Windows 8 system controls are accessed via a slide in or a pop-in menu that appears when the user performs a mouse over or a swipe to the corner of the screen on a touchscreen. Sharing managing devices, adjusting system settings, or features typically accessed through the Windows control panel are now easily accessed with fewer clicks. From this menu, I can search the entire system, I can configure sharing, return to the start point, manage my computer devices, and adjust my computer settings. Email. Built-in email. Now here's a concept that Microsoft has delivered and taken away. Seems like only yesterday there was an icon on my Windows desktop called Outlook Express. Windows Vista and later operating systems, it had been removed. This was something that made it necessary for users to download and configure third-party email clients or even purchase Microsoft Outlook, which is a full-feature version of an email client that is typically used with Exchange servers that comes with your Microsoft Office product suites. It appears that Windows 8 has an email client integrated with the OS, which is capable of serving up emails from our favorite email providers: Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, even AOL. Check it out. Contact management. Contact management in Windows 8 is a fully integrated, or maybe I should say it's capable of being fully integrated with your favorite social and professional networking sites. Early versions of Windows Contact Management was limited to primarily Outlook contacts, local address book, or if you were in a corporation, a corporate address book. Integration of social networking sites was a manual process and completed on a case-by-case basis or involved third-party applications to do so. Calendar. Calendar. It appears that I'm wide open for appointments. Windows 8 features a fully integrated calendar app. In a similar way to the Contacts app, it is accessed right from the main screen. A simple interface, straightforward design. With previous versions of Windows, while there may have been a calendar app included, you may have needed to use Outlook to get full benefit from its features and capabilities. Note that Apple has been integrated with email, calendar, and contacts with the base OS since the early release of Mac OS X. Messaging. Messaging in Windows prior to version 8 was not an integrated product at all. There were Microsoft messaging products, true, but they were not included with the base OS. They were more of an add-on application, often in order to actually communicate with people of varying service variety, such as AOL, Yahoo, Google, Jabber, etc., required a separate client for each. Forget about cross-pollination of service providers. There was a product called Trillion that would let you manage all of these clients from one interface, but you were still limited to single service communication, meaning that you could only have a conversation with somebody in AOL as long as you had an AOL account, or Google as long as you had a Google account. Windows 8 includes a messaging system messenger that appears to work with your email client credentials. Therefore, if you use Google, your Google chat will work with the messaging system. It also integrates with your Facebook account so that you can chat with your buddies on Facebook. The online experience. So far, we have discussed what I consider to be the main basic productivity applications that you would find with Windows 8. Now let's look at the remainder, the non-productivity based applications, the fun stuff. Things like photographs. Okay, yes, photography and productivity can go as one as well. That's true. It depends on your job, I suppose. Music, games, camera, videos, travel and mapping, shopping, weather, stocks. It appears that there is a simple message hidden in the design of Windows 8 that was not written in the previous versions of Windows. And that is that Microsoft wants you to have fun too. Apparently, Microsoft is paying attention to its competitors, who have been providing an advanced multimedia experience for years. The emphasis is on accessibility and ease of use. These applications are prominently located right on the main screen and come fully integrated as OS features. With Windows 7, they were an afterthought in some cases and not clearly thought out as far as how to make the best use of them. I wonder if Microsoft may have gone too far. Perhaps they are realigning their core demographic. photo libraries that integrate with your favorite online multimedia photo managing software, music and video, integrated with your Xbox Live account, if you have one. Guess I can see where this is going. Xbox games? A picture is forming in my head on what Microsoft is planning. Bing, maps and travel. Bing sports and news. And Bing weather and finances. Productivity. Before Windows 8, we purchased our productivity software. We installed it. We created and managed content locally. You would get the entire Office suite depending upon the version of Office that you would buy. Windows 8 provides a virtual storefront that allows us to purchase and interact with software, create and manage content that would be primarily kept in an online storage area that is designated through SkyDrive or other products like Dropbox or Google Drive. In Windows 8, everything seems to be a la carte. Given that Windows 8 represents the first Microsoft operating system that is cloud integrated, meaning that it's designed to work best in an environment where it can exist online. So it is true that the productivity suite designed for it also comes from an online source or as a cloud-based service. Microsoft Office applications of yesterday are now delivered to your computer as an online interactive applet. It is interesting to see some familiar names showing up as an a la carte option in the Microsoft Store productivity application list. Word, Excel, My Computer, even File Explorer. Interesting. Like Google and Apple, Microsoft now has its own cloud-based storage service. It's called SkyDrive. It is a service that's provided strictly over the internet. It requires an account and will provide a for free amount of space up to a certain amount, and then beyond that there will be a fee assessed for incremental increases in storage space. This is pretty typical of services like this. Traditional desktop. For users that require the ability to run legacy applications, Windows 8 came with a desktop environment as well. It runs as an applet right off the Metro primary or main interface. This can be turned off and on as needed. Interesting that some legacy applications require this environment to operate. My conclusion. All in all, Windows 8 experience tailored towards a crowd that would typically migrate towards an Apple product. With the all-inclusives such as email, calendar, messaging, the concept aspects are taken right from Mac OS X, and the design aspects seems from iOS or mobile-type devices. The cloud focus is another play that Apple is ahead of the game. In concept, however, it is an industry trend. And as much as I would like to give credit to Apple for getting there early, it is not entirely their idea. Kudos for Microsoft for getting something into the game. I believe your average business or corporate users, however, may actually not jump on board with Windows 8 in that it is a sharp turn in design and it would take longer to train its workforce to use the new interface. Many businesses are leaning towards cloud-based services, primarily private run or corporately held clouds. I believe that Windows 8 needs to mature a bit more before corporate IT departments would bite the bullet to migrate to Windows 8. Windows 7 will be a viable solution for a few more years as a stable alternative for many businesses. Even Apple is starting to gain some of that market share with their new product lines. Windows 8 is a game changer. However, from where I'm sitting, it's not really a game changer for me. Perhaps I'll wait till Windows 9. The tough sell for me is that I enjoy being able to tinker and tweak a system. Software, settings, things like that. The shift in Windows 8 is that for some reason it's a design for a world without tinkerers or tweakers. What's next? Cars that drive for you or even fix themselves? I don't think so. That's all I have. Thank you.